Asalamu alaikum, sisters. How you ladies doing? I hope you all are well and good. This video is from the heart. I haven't planned for it. I haven't done anything, because usually I do plan for my videos. I'll make a list of things that I want to talk about so that I don't ramble on. But here, we're just sitting here, nothing, just me and you guys talking. So yesterday was the 16th of October and I went to go see my grandpa because I hadn't seen my grandpa for so long, and there was just this feeling in my heart that I have to go see grandpa. I have to go see grandpa. So we did, we got ready, and then we went to see grandpa. And it's always such a beautiful pleasure to spend time with my grandpa. I love to talk to my grandpa. Even though, subhanAllah, age has caught up with my granddad. My granddad, Allahumma barik, he is 95 years old. What a blessing, what a blessing. So you'll be talking to him and then he will forget what you just said, and then he'll ask the same questions literally over and over. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with repeating myself. At least I have somebody who I know is listening, and I know, I can have a conversation with. And I've always been able to have a conversation with my granddad. We just talk about different things, Every time I go to see my granddad, there's never a boring moment. We always talk, and he likes to talk about his olden days. Not so much now, but he likes to talk about, they used to love to talk about that, and the type of person that he was. And he's always such a grateful person, subhanAllah. One thing about my grandpa, Allahumma barik, he has no problems with nobody. I feel like that's why he's first of all, I feel like that's why he's gotten to this age, because he always talks about how all his family members, passed away in their 60s and 70s, and he's the one that's basically surpassed everybody, and he's 95 years old. And he always says because he's had a clean heart, he forgives easily, and that he doesn't hold anything in his heart, And for years, I'm like, yeah, grandpa, that makes sense, but that's not me. And that was not me, because I did used to hold grudge. I never used to forgive so easily and things like that. So after years have gone by, I've actually adopted that as well, in a sense that I forgive easily now, alhamdulillah. And I don't keep nothing in my heart, because I told grandpa, I'm like, grandpa, I want to live as long as you, inshallah. I want to live up till like I'm 95, see my grandkids, my great grandkids and things like that. What a blessing. So that's what we did yesterday, and it was so fun. So like I said, me and him are always talking. We're always back and forth, different topics, different conversations. And I really enjoy talking to my grandpa. I think he must have asked me about the kid's dad or something like that. And then I said what I needed to say and everything. And I said with lots of emotions, and I started even crying. And I said, grandpa, I will never ever be the kind of wife that I was. I will never ever be a good wife anymore, kind of thing. And he was like, Fatimah, you just made my body shiver, like, how could you say that? I'm like, grandpa, that's when I started crying. Now the emotions went through. Grandpa, I did everything a wife needed to do, grandpa. I was forgiving. I overlooked a lot of things, I decided to become a housewife and stay at home and look after the kids, because that was what I thought was best for my family. I still believe that, by the way. I still 100% believe that. And when there were times when he couldn't provide for me, I was patient, I was calm, like, yes, grandpa, we're humans, we are going to argue, we're going to have misunderstanding, but our misunderstanding never led to XYZ kind of thing. And that was the thing, subhanAllah. Yeah, I remember when I was married to this guy, my granddad always used to ask me, how is everything? And I always used to say, grandpa, literally everything is okay. Like, we'll have our issues there and there, but alhamdulillah, nothing that I would ever need to come and sit down with you guys for, kind of thing, for you guys to be a mediator. And that's how it was. Literally, our problems never needed, in a way, mediation. They're just normal stuff that happens in a marriage kind of thing. And I said, grandpa, I will never be that again. I will never be that. And wallahi billahi, I will never be that type of wife anymore. I will never be that type of wife who was so patient and allowed XYZ. I will never ever be that type of wife anymore who was so forgiving. And I will never be that type of wife anymore who basically was so patient when I wasn't provided for in a way that I really and truly deserved. I will never ever be that type of wife anymore who took on majority of the responsibility whilst the other person was so selfish and was just practically not doing anything. Like, I have changed so much, and this is the reason why I'm taking my precious time to ever get into a relationship again, because I need to make sure I am firm on my new beliefs and my new understanding on what I really want from a man and what I really want as a wife in the future. Like, one thing that I have realized, and we do see that a lot of women talk about it, when you're calm, when you're understanding, when you're patient, when you're forgiving, when you support the other person when they're lacking in certain areas, they overlook your kindness and take your kindness as weakness, and they neglect you, they start to abandon you and disrespect you. And then the value that they should have for you, because you're patient, you're kind, you're supportive, you're a great wife, you do everything a wife needs to do, you're a housewife, that all of these things, they take you for granted. Okay, and I firmly believe that when you're hard-bodied and you don't care and you act a bit nonchalant and you just live, that's when men value you a lot more than when you break your back for them. And I'm gonna live that, because I would rather be alone. I would rather never ever get married than be that wife I was. That person is unalive. That person does not exist in me no more. I would never do that again, ladies. I will never do that. And once I spoke to my grandpa and I told him what I just said to you guys, he actually didn't say nothing. And then I just had to just tell him, I'm like, Grandpa, our generation have changed. It's not the days where, you know, women were submissive, women did this, women, you know, were great wives and things like that, and the men appreciated them. Nowadays, men love women who are hard to deal with. Men love women who will put so much pressure on them to provide. And if they don't provide, they're out of there. Men don't love women who are patient, who understand that, okay, Habibti, I cannot provide XYZ this month, you know, and then the woman is automatically patient and be like, don't worry, Allah will provide for us, we'll be okay. They love women who, you need to find a way to provide. You need to find a way to, you know what I mean? They love that. So I cannot be that no more. And I am enjoying my single life, you know. I don't want nobody who's going to come and interrupt that for me. I cannot be that wife no more. I cannot. And that hurts me, because the truth be told, if I'm honest with you guys, I loved it. I absolutely loved catering to our husband, whether he was good or even deserved it. Because one thing that I always made sure, and I always, you know, try to instill in my brain, is that I'm doing this for the sake of Allah. And yes, I can choose to get married and still do the same things, and even better, for the sake of Allah. However, I'm choosing not to. I will do other things for the sake of Allah. I will choose to give charity for the sake of Allah instead. I will choose to do other things for the sake of Allah. But to sit there, I'll find other means to go to Jannah. You know the hadith, you know, if your husband is happy with you, your salah is good, your fasting is good, you can go to Jannah from any gates that you want, kind of thing. And that was my motto. But you know what, sisters? I'm going to find other ways to go to Jannah, and it's not going to be through a man. I just can't no more. You might think, oh, Fatimah, you're still hurting. I don't think I'm really hurting as such. I feel like the reason why I may come across as hurting is because of the way how everything ended. You guys, I did over and beyond. And any woman who do such, I think definitely will permanently change. And I feel like that's exactly what it is with me. I have forgiven and I have handed everything to Allah, for Allah to always handle and for Allah to defend me. However, I cannot ever try to ever find Jannah through a man no more. I'm done. I'm absolutely done. And I'm going to enjoy my time as a single woman, enjoy raising my children, and nobody's going to make me feel worthless or less than, because you know, you hear single mother this, single mother this. Let them talk. They're going to chat. They're going to chat. They don't know because they haven't lived it. They haven't experienced it. Let them chat. But one thing I do know, that this single woman sitting here with you today, talking to you, she's a high value woman. She knows her worth and she knows what she will tolerate and not tolerate. And she's so firm on never ever trying to find Jannah through a man no more. There are other means to find Jannah. You know, as a matter of fact, that should be a topic. Ways for us to earn Jannah as a woman. Okay. And for me, it's not going to be through my future husband, whoever he may be. So yeah. And that conversation was very emotional between me and my grandpa. Nowadays, men love women who are just difficult. They don't love women who are understanding and patient and forgiving. And, you know, men want to control women, weak women. But this is why I'm here. I'm here to chat to you guys, to advise to you guys. You take it or you leave it. It's up to you. But what they do say is, you never really learn until you go through it, isn't it? And for me, alhamdulillah, I'm glad I went through it and I've learned. I will not seek Jannah through a man. I just wouldn't. I will never be that kind of wife I once upon a time was. Absolutely not. And I will never also help a man who cannot fully financially provide. I will never marry a man who I know from the beginning cannot fully provide it for me. Like, yes, I was young. I was 23. 23-year-olds, you're more understanding. You know, life in a way is just beginning. So you don't expect your husband to be lavishly wealthy to provide for you 100% as such. Yes, he should provide for you, but the expectation of contributing here and there is kind of known. But even if it was possible for me to go back to 23 and change everything again, I will not marry a man who cannot provide for me 100% from the jump. I just wouldn't. And it's sad because, like I said, I did enjoy being a wife. I enjoyed catering to my husband. It's okay to be understanding if the person cannot pull their weight this month. This is what a relationship is about. When I'm going downhill, the other person is there. You help me back up. You know, when the other person is there, I help. You know what I mean? It's like that. We help each other. Okay. However, one thing that I will never compromise on is making an excuse for somebody who have the ability to do better. Never ever. Anyways, ladies, thank you for listening to my rant. I will never. And if my future husband ever sees this, I will never. I'm just a different type of woman now. I'm just a different type of woman. Men do love hard women. They love women who are difficult. They love women who keep them on their toes. They don't love women who are gentle and calm and all of that. And that's why they say that after a while, a man will start to resent you. Because even the men, they do love to be on their toes. They love to go and hunt and provide and stuff like that. But when you keep making an excuse for them, they become very lazy and not appreciate you as much. And that's when they start seeking either a second wife and all of that. Or they leave you. They leave you and go find their dream woman. Their dream woman, you know. But now I'm just going to be my own dream woman, my own dream girl. And I don't need to be that for nobody. And I'm very thankful and grateful for my children. And I ask Allah to make them healthy always and protect them and look after them and help me raise them. You know, for me, I was in a marriage because I wanted to have kids. I got 3, alhamdulillah. So I think to myself, do I even want more children? That's another conversation that I have to have with myself and really come to a conclusion for. Because one thing I do know is I don't depend on no man to love me no more. I don't want love from a man. I just want their money now. I'm not gonna lie. I just want their money. I also will never marry for the deen anymore. But that's a topic for a whole nother video. I will never marry for a deen anymore. I did that before. So let's try for money now. Because we can marry for wealth, isn't it? Let's try for wealth and see where it takes us. Thank you for listening, my love. May Allah bless you. Assalamu alaikum. I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.